Having seen this, and with Ocean's 14 in potential development, I am now convinced that we need Michael Fassbender as the new 14th member. Black Bag. When intelligence agent Kathryn Woodhouse is suspected of betraying the nation, her husband, who's also a legendary agent, faces the ultimate test of whether to be loyal to his marriage or to his country. So I think an initial look at this will make you believe that this is a Mr. and Mrs. Smith kind of movie. And it is, sort of, in concept of the story alone. Where I think Mr. and Mrs. Smith has kind of solidified itself as this action comedy, this is very much a slow espionage thriller where the devil is in the details of the dialogue. I don't really think the trailers lead you to believe that, so just an early heads up. That said though, this was still really fun to watch. It took me a moment to get into it though. The movie throws you in pretty quickly, and I'm not sure why, but my initial reaction was that all of the dialogue was just overly pretentious. Like, conversations were overly convoluted and snobby for the sake of it. Kind of like an Aaron Sorkin script, but without necessarily that entertainment. That might have just been the mood I was in though. The characters are intentionally up themselves to the point where the arrogance blinds them, so it does eventually become quite entertaining to see everything unfold. Once I settled in, I began to really love some of the conversations going on. You do have to be switched on though, because it can be easy to miss some things. And not just the conversations itself, but the story also got more interesting as it progressed. There's maybe a halfway mark where the revelation happened, and I really like where the story went. It almost became more humorous as it progressed too. If you can't tell, I definitely thought the movie got better over time. Also, it's just a tight 90-minute movie, which I just fucking love. Obviously, none of the script or dialogue would have worked without the great cast we had representing. Michael Fassbender plays a very similar style role to what he does in The Killer. He's very methodical with precise movement, almost a robotic agent of sorts. The midway shift that happens in the story I think then makes his character even better, where he's still trying to be very meticulous but also getting more and more pissed off. He's just very satisfying to watch. Cate Blanchett as the leading lady I think matched that energy very well. Just always on top of her game, and you believe that she's just not this woman that you ever want to mess with. Brosnan, Regé-Jean, Naomie Harris, Marisa, Abela and Tom Burke are all worth mentioning as they were a great supporting cast here. Each one messed up in their head in their own ways and also arrogantly delusional in how smart they think they are. They're all kind of the same but slightly different. The big shout out that I want to give though is to the set design and the props team though. Weirdly enough, I kind of took note of how interesting each room was in every scene. Everything was modern and pristine and just kind of fit the film's aesthetic very well. That combined with some really solid lighting work, camera movement and framing meant that even if you are just watching two characters talk between each other for most of the film, it never looked boring. It's directed by Soderbergh, and when you realise he's also done films like Logan Lucky and Ocean's 11, it kind of makes sense when you're listening to the film. The music is surprisingly upbeat at times, in a Ocean sort of way. I think it helps balance the movie, stops it being overly serious, and when some of the witty dialogue drops, that music just helps to make it feel more in place. It means you're not stressing about the resolution of the film and just kicking back and having fun as it unfolds. Honestly, it was a really solid watch and I would recommend seeing it, just as long as you're aware that it's not going to be an action film. So yeah, that's Black Bag. A good time. Let me know if you're planning to see it. It came out last week, so maybe you already have. If so, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you enjoyed this review, feel free to leave a like and subscribe and all that sort of stuff. And as always, stay tuned for more reviews on movies, anime and video games. Until next time guys, take care. Bye bye.